What's going on, everyone? Moose here, Airguns of Michigan, and today we have an unboxing video. Now, I know unboxing videos, blah blah blah, you know, it is what it is, but I want to show you guys something really special. You guys know that I have been on the prowl to figure out what optic I'm going to shoot for NRL, PRS, and even some bench rest competition shooting. And you know, man, I've had so many different optics, and listen, and they are all in their right, decent optics. They are good optics. Some of them are even great, but everybody knows that there is that next level, that next piece of the puzzle that kind of gives you that aha moment. It's that change in elevation. It is the pinnacle of everything that we expected and thought we had until you actually have it. It's like driving a Pinto and then jumping into a Corvette. It's like buying Walmart knives and then all of a sudden getting your first set of very nice high quality Woosh-Offs or whichever brand that you use, and you're just like, wow, there is a huge difference in that. And I'm here to tell you, I have found that difference. Like I said, I've been on the lookout for a solid optic, something that is very, very solid, something that is next level, something that is better than what I've used in the past. And listen, I've shot Citron, I've shot all the other, you know, kinds of big brands out there, and listen, and I'm not saying that they all are not good, but this here is next level. Before we introduce this and we open it up, if you guys haven't, check out my Patreon channel. On my Patreon channel, I give away all kinds of stuff. We give away air guns, we give away scopes, we give away knives, we give away IFAKs, we give away all kinds of stuff. But the only way to get involved with those giveaways is to join up with my Patreon account. For as little as $5 a month, you're entered every single month that you paid for, and you have a great opportunity to win some great prizes. So like I said, I'm on the lookout, I'm looking around, and one of my good friends over in England says to me, have you ever seen GPO Optics? And I said, no, I don't even think I've ever heard of them. And he's like, bro, you need to check out GPO Optics. If you're looking for that optic, that's the one that you need to go with. So, of course, I go out to YouTube and I start looking up GPO Optics. And I come across a video by a very good friend of mine, Cyclops Joe, and Joe is just raving about this thing. So I call Joe and I'm like, Joe, like legit, and he's like, bro, this is certified, in his words, badass. And I was like, okay. And so I did some more research, I looked up the company, I found out a bunch of stuff, and listen, these guys at GPO, they're based in Germany, but they also have a base here in the US. And both of those guys that run the German and the US side have extensive history in the optics industry. They've worked for the tier 1, top of the line manufacturers, and they didn't settle for anything other than the best when they decided to start theirs. So introducing the GPO Optics. This is German Precision Optics. This is the Spectra 6X 4.5 to 27 by 50i illuminated. This is their PRS model, if you will. And man, I can tell you, I love this thing. Just pulling the optic out of the case, which it does not come with a ton of frills. You're not going to get free scope rings. Some of the companies that give free scope rings, yeah, no, hard pass. I'll be using Eagle Vision scope rings on this. Like I said, it doesn't come with a bunch of different things. They're not putting frills into their optics like many of these subpar companies do, where they try to load you up. Oh, look, man, we're going to give you this and this and this and this, and you get all this stuff for free. Number one, it's not free. And number two, most of the time you don't even utilize it because you're using other stuff. So why include scope rings with a scope when you know what scope rings you like and you can put them on yourself? It does come with, the cleaning cloth. It comes with a very nice manual. I mean, this is a pretty good manual that talks about a lot of stuff. And then it even comes with the little card inside that shows you the locking turrets, how to reset, your zero stop, and your zero mark as well. So that's it. And it comes with a battery for the illumination. But let me just start off by saying, first and foremost, the finish and quality of this far surpasses anything that I've shot previously. The locking turrets, which I love exposed turrets, but a lot of times with exposed turrets, you don't get the locking mechanism, right? So they can be bumped, you can turn it, whatever. These actually are push-pull, very, very solid. The dialing, the clicks are there. I mean, listen. In the past, I've talked about clicks, right? And usually on a click on a turret, there's a little bit of play. A little bit. I mean, minute amounts. There is zero. Let me spell it out for you. Z-E-R-O wiggle in these turrets. When you click, it clicks and it moves. It is that precise. There is absolutely zero play in this turret once you click and dial that thing down. The clicks are very audible. Zero is zero. The parallax on this is absolutely butter smooth, yet it is stiff enough that it's not going to move on its own, right? Recoil is not going to change the zero. It is down to 25 meters. This is a mil-radian scope as well. 0.1 MRAD at 100 yards. Now, I hear this debate from people all the time. Man, I prefer MOA. It's a little more accurate. It's a little finer adjustment. That might be said all well and true, but in the world of NRL and PRS, I find that most guys are talking mil-radians. They're always talking mil-radians. So I don't want to be an MOA if they're talking mil-radians and then I don't have a calculation for that. Plus, I shoot a lot of MRAD stuff anyway, so in my mind, it's easier for me to calculate MRAD than it is MOA. The throw lever on this, I believe that this is actually detachable, so you can actually detach this if you want. Actually, I know it is. But the throw lever is butter smooth. It is absolutely flawless. I mean, this is, listen, when I talk about the perfection of engineering, you're looking at it right here. I'm telling you right now, God is my witness, this is by far the smoothest, most well-built piece of engineering that I've had in my hand yet. I honestly think they need to ask way more money for this optic than what they do. Because I can tell you, I've had this price range of optic, and they don't compare to this. They do not compare to this. So that's just my opinion, and it's the opinion of lots of others as well. The diopter on this is absolutely butter. It is just so well made. You know, I really just can't say enough about it. We are going to take this thing out to the range. I don't have a setup to really do like a box test or anything, but you can definitely check out Cyclops videos and check out his. He did the box test on this and all that stuff. But what we are going to do is we're going to take this out. The reason that it's not mounted on my NRL gun right now is my NRL gun failed. It's got to go back to the manufacturer and get repaired. I'm just waiting for a shipper so I can ship it out there, and then we're going to take care of that. But I am going to put it on another one of my guns, and we are going to go out to the range, and we're going to shoot at 25, 50, 75, and 100, because that's what's available at this particular range that I'm going to go to. Plus, I don't have my NRL gun, so stretching out to those further distances is going to be more of a challenge. But we will do it again once the NRL gun comes back. But I'm going to show you guys the ability to dial this and how it returns right back to where it's zeroed at and all that good stuff. We will hook up the Eagle Vision scope cam to it so you guys will be able to see through the scope. It does come already with this clear protective cap on the end of it. It is a flip up cap. However, I have found that honestly it looks pretty good even with the cap down. So if it's raining or whatever and you want that cap down, you know, it's gonna do something for you. Here's where this glass has truly separated itself from everything else. And this is the honest to God best advice that I can ever give you. And I've heard this from many, many people in the optics industry is, number one, if you are out buying a new scope, don't look through the scope in the store and go, wow, that looks really clear. Don't do that. And the reason is because the fluorescent lights in stores are going to make this optic, no matter what optic it is, appear brighter and cleaner than it actually is out in real world conditions. So if you have the ability, take the optic outside into natural light and look through it there. I've actually been to one shop where they actually had a sun room, which I thought was really cool. And actually, it wasn't even a room. It was kind of like a box that they built that you could actually insert the scope into. It had more natural looking sunlight in it, which I thought was a good idea. I don't know exactly how good that is, but it was cool. But I can tell you that I've taken this thing out at dusk, and looking through my naked eye, without the optic, it seemed darker with my eye than it actually did when I looked through the optic. You know, it's a 34 millimeter main tube, you know, a 50-inch objective on the end, which is nice. And some people might be like, man, I prefer a 56 or maybe a 60. And while that is not a bad thing when you're shooting in lower light, you know, shooting PRS and NRL, most of the time we're not in super low light. So that's not a concern at all. I can tell you that the scope is not overly heavy, but yet it's got enough weight for those of you guys that shoot the NRL and the PRS. You know, we like a little bit of weight. We really kind of do want to weight our gun down just a little bit. We don't want it an ultralight. Of course, we also don't want to be carrying around 40 pounds. But this is a great, I think honestly they kind of nailed it exactly where it is. So I really can't say enough. You know, if you guys are in the market and you guys want some of the best glass and the best build quality that you're going to get, look no further, I kid you not, than GPO Optics. Don't just take my word for it. Go check out Cyclops Joe. You know, I mean, Joe does amazing scope reviews. You guys have seen him for years. And, you know, honestly, I really do trust and take a lot of notes from what Joe talks about. So if Joe mentions something and says this is a badass scope, then I'm more interested in it than I am if just some random person goes, oh yeah, you should check out these. That's what Joe does, right? So I took his advice. Thanks to GPO, they did send me this optic as my NRL and PRS scope. So I did not purchase this myself. They certainly did send it to me. My hat's off. Thank you very much, GPO. I look to do you guys proud. And you will see this on all of my NRL and PRS shooting. Absolutely. Look for links to GPO on my website, www.airgunsofmichigan.com, and you'll be able to find links to GPO. It'll take you right over there, and you can check them out. And once again, I do plan on using the Eagle Vision. These are the INS 34 rings. These are fully adjustable. You can pick these up at thepelletshop.com. That's where I picked these up from. And till next time, until the next video where we're going to have this thing out in the field. We're going to be at the range. We're going to shoot it. You're going to see it through the Eagle Vision scope cam. We'll show you guys everything that this thing's about. And then we're just going to start shooting the living heck out of this thing. So with that being said, I'm Moose. This is Airguns of Michigan. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. And by all means, ring that bell so you know when I'm coming out with more videos. Till then, take care, be good to each other, and God bless.